Okay, welcome back everyone to the deep dive.
Hey there.
We've got a really interesting piece to dig into with you today.
Absolute Superman 8.
Exactly. And the specific story is Superman, Son of the Demon, Part 1, Lazarus Come Forth. Written by Joshua Williamson, art by Rafa Sandoval and Ulysses Ariola.
Okay, so let's dive into the story with Ra's al Ghul.
Right, and he's apparently in the middle of a fight. Like, assassins are attacking him.
Exactly. He's fighting them off, but at the same time he's on a call.
A call. While fighting assassins.
Yeah, I get this. He's talking to the Lazarus board group, apparently about how well prophets are doing.
Wow. Talk about multitasking at a supervillain level. That definitely sets tone.
It really does. And the review mentions this really chilling detail right after he wins the fight. He uses the Lazarus pit.
Okay, the regeneration pool. We know that one.
Right. But he uses it on one of the attackers he just defeated. But he doesn't, revive him properly. He de-ages him.
De-ages him. How far?
All the way back to a baby.
What do you know?
Yeah. And then he just throws the baby out the window.
Okay, that's disturbing.
The reviewer specifically highlighted that, called it unnecessary creepiness, really paints Ra's as, cold and cruel.
Definitely unsettling. The review mentioned some brief speculation, maybe it was Vandal Savage, but no, it confirms the name used is Rise.
Yeah, sticks with Ra's. So from that really dark, intense villain intro, the story shifts. Big shift.
Where does it go?
To Kal, Superman. He's at Martha Kent's bedside.
Ah, okay. A quieter moment, maybe?
It sounds like it starts that way. He's talking to her, telling her about his travels, things he's seen, sort of trying to connect,
Yeah, that makes sense, given everything he's probably been through.
But then, well, the review says it gets heartbreaking. Martha wakes up, but she's panicked.
Panicked? Why?
She's calling out for Jonathan, his dad. And she looks at Kal and calls him a stranger.
Oh, wow. To her own son. That's rough.
Yeah, a real emotional gut punch for Kal. The review notes he leaves pretty quickly after that, heads downtown into Smallville.
And who does he run into there?
Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen.
Ah, the classic duo. What are they up to?
Arguing, apparently. The review says they're arguing over their differences.
Okay, typical Lois and Jimmy dynamic, maybe.
Seems like it. The reviewer actually liked this bit, called them opposite sides of the world's status quo, but driven by similar desires. And they gave props to the writer, Joshua Aaron, for how he handled their dialogue.
So Kal, probably still reeling from the Martha thing, finds them arguing.
Right, he was hiding on a rooftop, but their argument draws him down. He comes down to the street.
And then what? Does he break up the fight?
Nope. Almost immediately. Bang, he gets shot.
Shot. Superman.
Yeah, right in the chest. With a kryptonite bullet.
Whoa, okay. Out of nowhere, who shot him?
A Captain Smith. And the review adds this grim detail. This is the guy who apparently murdered the innocents who laughed at him in India.
So not just some random encounter. This guy has history. Things escalate quickly then, I assume.
Immediately, Lois sees Kal go down, asks Jimmy for help, and then these peacemakers start pouring into the street.
Peacemakers. Sounds ominous. Some kind of soldiers?
Seems like it, yeah. Heavily armed enforcers of some kind. The threat level just spikes.
And Captain Smith, he's pressing the attack on Kal, who's now weakened by kryptonite.
Exactly. The review describes the fight going back and forth. A tough brawl for Superman, obviously, because of the kryptonite.
Man, that's a bad spot for him.
Gets worse. The review reveals Smith isn't just some captain. He's a Brainiac-enhanced peacemaker.
Brainiac-enhanced. So, tech upgrades? Smarter? Stronger?
Probably all of the above. And then Smith shoots Kal with more kryptonite bullets.
Oh, come on. How does he even get out of this?
He reaches out to Jimmy, asks for help, to escape.
And Jimmy can help. How?
Jimmy calls a boom tube.
A boom tube. In Smallville. Okay. That's usually, New Gods tech.
Right. But Jimmy summons one, and Kal and Jimmy just vanish through it.
Vanish. Leaving.
Leaving Lois. Right there. The review says, at the mercy of the peacemakers.
Wow. Okay, that's a cliffhanger. No wonder the reviewer liked the story.
Yeah. Perfect score. 5 out of 5 for the story. They called it a strong return after something called a Brainiac interlude.
And they liked that Ra's opening.
Loved it. Called it a great way to start the book and introduce the villain, balancing the violence with the business call.
Makes sense. What about the Martha scene?
Called it heartbreaking and pointed out how it shows how much Kal longs for connections that he's being denied. That emotional core resonated.
And the Lois and Jimmy stuff.
Got praise again. Reviewer really enjoyed their dynamic, felt it added a lot.
And the fight. Brainiac guy versus weakened soups.
Highlighted as being ramped up and great, sounds like it was a major action beat that landed well.
Okay, so the story sounds intense. What about the visuals? The art?
Also a perfect score. 5 out of 5 for the interior art by Rafa Sandoval and Ulises Arreola.
What did they like specifically?
Called it peak art. Praised the storytelling in the panels, the expressive faces, the vibrant colors. Really sounds like it popped off the page.
Any standout moments mentioned?
Yeah, that brawl in Smallville, Sandoval's pencils were called incredibly choreographed and penciled. So clear, dynamic action.
Nice. Anything else on the art? Designs?
Praise for the designs of the Brainiac-enhanced Peacemaker and also for a full mask Superman look. Reviewer said Sandoval nailed them, called them incredible.
So art and story both firing on all cylinders, according to this review.
Great.
What about the cover?
The main cover, also Sandoval and Arreola, got a 5 out of 5 too.
What's on it?
Describes the big trio, probably Supes, Lois, and Jimmy, given the context facing down the battle in Smallville.
Kind of sums up the issue's core conflict then.
Exactly. Reviewer called it a great tease and hoped to see more of those three working together soon.
Were there variant covers?
Yep, 2 mentioned. Both got 4 out of 5 ratings. Pretty solid.
What were they like?
One was a great image of Cal soaking up the sun. Classic Superman vibe.
Okay, and the other?
A cool cover of Cal floating in space with his forearms glowing with power. More of a cosmic power look.
So, across the board, artistically very strong.
Definitely sounds like it.
Okay, so pulling this all together from the review,
Yeah.
It seems like this issue really balances, like, big-scale threats.
Right, you've got Ra's al Ghul doing seriously creepy things, and then Brainiac's influence through this enhanced Peacemaker. Major
Sounds-
league villains.
But then it zooms right in on Cal's personal side.
Oh.
His vulnerability, not just the kryptonite.
No, exactly. That heartbreaking moment with Martha, that loneliness the reviewer points out, his longing for connection, it grounds him.
And it all happens against the backdrop of Smallville. With Lois and Jimmy right in the thick of it, their argument kicking things off, Jimmy helping him escape.
Yeah, the supporting cast seems really crucial here. The reviewer definitely felt the writing and the art were working together perfectly to make this issue hit hard.
It sounds like more than just an action issue, but something with real emotional weight too, using these iconic characters really effectively.
That's the picture the review paints, for sure. A strong plot mover after whatever that Brainiac story was, but also really character focus.
Right. So thinking about how the review leaves things, Cal and Jimmy just boom-tubed out, leaving Lois behind.
Yeah, with the Peacemakers still there. And not just any Peacemakers, Brainiac-enhanced ones.
Exactly. So based only on what this review told us, what do you think happens next? What are the immediate consequences for Lois, stranded there? Or even for Smallville itself, with Superman gone and these guys running loose?
That's a great question to chew on. Lois is resourceful, but facing down Brainiac tech and soldiers alone, that's not good. And Smallville's pretty vulnerable without its protector. It makes you wonder what Smith and his crew want there in the first place.